As subcompact SUVs have become popular, other body styles have seemed to have been forgotten in the segment. But I have been reminded of one of them every day for the last 3 months. With new SUVs now in the mix, most don't find the aura of a subcompact sedan desirable. Thus, no one aspires to buy them and none are amazed by them either. But for the last 3 months, I've been trying to find out why that is with this, the Honda Amaze. And here are my thoughts. We've driven the Amaze petrol CVT for over 2,000 kilometers in the last 3 months. In that time, we spent driving it like anyone else would as a daily. We also pushed the Amaze to its limits just to see how it would behave. Firstly, the 1.2-litre 4-cylinder engine is capable of 89 horsepower and 110 Newton meters. The response from the engine is good and it's extremely refined. Unlike Honda's diesel motors, the CVT, however, isn't as responsive, but it's quite smooth to shift. The rubber band effect is kept to a minimum, but if you're looking to overtake a car at any speeds, you're better off stepping down that gearbox with the paddle shifters to allow you to get that pull and make it easier. Now, without the paddle shifters, the Amaze would be a little difficult to drive on the highway or even fast-flowing traffic. While I love the engine and how it behaves, it feels a little underpowered on full load of 5 passengers and a lot of luggage. Thankfully, when you push it into sport mode with the transmission, it helps negate that to a significant extent. Now, Honda claims the Amaze is capable of delivering 18.5 kmpl in fuel economy. But in the time that we've been driving it, we've received about 15.5 kmpl in the real world. While that is quite commendable, it is not as good as some of its rivals if you were to compare apples to apples. Now, the steering is, however, an enigma. When parking or driving at slow speeds, the steering is actually heavy and it requires some effort. But when you are driving at higher speeds, it just becomes light and very comfortable to be using. It is completely counterintuitive to what we've known from electric power steering systems. Although when you're driving, these issues may only become apparent when you pay very close attention to them. Otherwise, one may not even notice them. Now, the Amaze and its ride quality behaves like any modern Honda. It's soft to the extent that it takes its own sweet time to settle down on a bumpy road, just like the Honda City perhaps. But due to its shorter wheelbase, it's not as amplified, but it is quite bouncy. Space in the cabin is abundant and there is enough room for 4 comfortably. The build quality is very good, and like every Honda, the materials in the cabin feel nice to the touch. The dual-tone interior also allows for a more vibrant and airy cabin. The current generation Amaze was launched all the way back in early 2018. Although some feature revisions have been launched since, in car years it's still quite old. But if we stop measuring the value of cars based on the needlessly long features list as a yardstick and see what we actually need in our daily life, we come to the following conclusion. The Amaze is built well, it's comfortable to spend a lot of time in, the engine is refined and offers cabin space in spades. But the ride could be more taut, the engine could be a little more efficient, and we could never have too much power. So if the Amaze ticks all the right boxes that you have in mind, it's clearly a no-brainer. But there seems to be nothing wrong with subcompact sedans. But the fascination with SUVs is something seems to be cementing with every passing moment in India. And beating that is a tall order.